right. That's the idea. I am here at Galacticon with Rick Worthy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for this interview. It's great.
Oh no, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to spend here with me, and
You're welcome.
generously.
Cheers. Cheers, Bella. There's Bella over there.
But I've been a fan of yours. My biggest thing is I don't know you as well personally with the other media you've done. My biggest one is Supernatural. I'm actually currently on another rewatch.
Oh, wonderful. From the very beginning, or
from the very start?
Wow.
This is, I think, my third or fourth rewatch from the beginning.
Dude, respect. Because people know. That's 15 years.
Yeah. I always restart when I forget what season I'm on. So I'm like, all right, back to the beginning.
Right, back to that yellow-eyed monster.
Yeah, I actually just got past where your character of the father of vampires shot in the head.
Yes.
So I just passed that part on this rewatch.
Nice.
So my question to start off this is your experience on Supernatural. How is that? How is it working with the cast and crew of the show?
I think that, people have asked me that before, and I just want to say thank you so much because it truly is one of my favorite questions. Supernatural, today someone said, what's your favorite, if you could list them? Supernatural, for me, is probably number one because the character of the alpha vampire, father of all vampires, means so much to me personally. I had to do so much homework. I had to forget about all the vampire movies and TV shows I've ever seen in my life.
No sparkling.
No sparkling vampires, no Hugo Boss or Armani clad vampires looking cool as hell. No.
To be fair, you did look badass.
Yes, thank you. Which I wanted. But I also wanted to exude like a sense of, like you're sitting like so regal. That's how the alpha vampire sits as well.
Yeah, and I feel like that came across very well in the show.
Yes, thank you, And I wanted people to respect him, but be terrified of him.
And I definitely think that worked really well. Because another thing, too, is like, you also, a lot of the other actors that came on that weren't main cast, your chemistry with them on set, especially the child actors, when they brought them into, when Sam and Dean first met you, not in the jail cell, but in your, mansion.
In the mansion,
Your chemistry, you felt like you were their father.
Yes.
In that sense, you had that.
Yeah. And also, thank you. Also, pretty disturbing too, because when you read the script, you're like, okay, all right, this is what I have. Okay, there's children around,
right,
and also adults as well. So for a vampire, for him, it's all is fair game, and someone actually said something to me on Twitter when I had Twitter 1,000 years ago. I don't have it anymore. I was really disturbed by seeing the presence of young people in that scene. I said, well, he's a vampire. He's going to have people around him and of various ages. And to have the young girl standing right over Alpha Vamp's shoulder. That one scene where he's holding up the goblet like this. And that young girl is standing right behind him. Well, she's one of his now, and it was, you're playing with a lot of different levels that are like you're pushing a lot of envelopes,
right?
That can be really disturbing for people, And I had to figure out how to do all that very gracefully.
No, I can only imagine. I've recently, with a bunch of child actors, because there's a bunch of things coming out with child actors now, especially for horror shows and horror movies, because you have to be very careful because you don't know what's going to affect them in the long run negatively.
For sure, yeah. And I'm not a parent of any children. I have 2 nephews, and they're now in their 20s. So, when I do a TV show or a movie, and if there's a presence of a child actor around, one of the things I always look out for, and I don't really tell people, I just want to make sure that child actor is not working overtime, not doing 1 a.m. shoots like I would do as an adult.
Right.
And also the language in the scene for me is important. I'll probably say no to something if it's too graphic and too violent. But that's just me. Each actor is different. Keanu Reeves might easily do another movie, and it's he'll do the John Wick thing and It doesn't matter if there's children there or not, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
So going into your other projects now, because I don't want it to just stick on Supernatural.
Of course.
As much as I am like such a huge fan of it, I know you're also a fan of the show yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I am very much. Yeah.
You're also in so many different iterations of Star Trek. Because I know, because I think if I remember right, you also had like
I am, yeah. I have sort of this distinct. Someone actually said you have to look on Google and punch in. It's so weird to talk like this. I punched in someone said punch in your name and then Star Trek. I have some unique distinction of being one of the few actors in various iterations of Star Trek over X amount of years. And I'm kind of proud of that, actually.
Well, we got our assistant here to help on that one. Do you have one that is your favorite iteration?
Man, probably. I love all of them, to be honest with you. I loved working with Scott Bakula. I loved working with Michael Dorn and DS9. J.G. Hertzler, who's here today. Yeah.
Oh shoot, that's right, he is here.
Yeah. Like J.G., I haven't seen J.G. Hertzler in 20 years or so.
Wow.
And he said, and I said, I don't want to bother him. He's kind of sitting down and chilling out and having his, coffee. And he says, Rick, how you been? And I was like, oh man. And I said, JG, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you remember. He said, of course I remember you, man. And that's the Star Trek family.
Right. It seems like it's a lot of these shows, like it gets so close knit that you guys, like you said, 20 years later are still on friendly terms. No matter, I'm not gonna say no matter what, because there's always something that could happen.
Actually a little over 20 years is the last time I saw JJ. So he remembered me though. It really touched me.
Do you have any favorite moments of while you were acting in Star Trek itself? Learning and singing the Klingon warrior anthem, which I still know today. Yeah. Oh, no shit.
Yeah. They sent it to us all in cassette tapes. This is pre-smartphones.
Right.
And they said, learn this and be ready tomorrow morning. And of course I memorized it. And today in our panel for Star Trek, me and JG sang it together.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you mind, now that you mentioned that? Can we hear
I'd love to. Tell me when.
Whenever you're ready.
Koi keles kuklod, koi kukbe ku, yakmao zesumi, semok sumeyu, masu manang esmakakso, nibay ni majawa. Vafobero esdo kidak, vafumanu de perek mesisak to mamay from a shuftak. Mamay from a shuftak. Mamay from a shuftak. Ma oof.
I'll be honest, I'm a little speechless on that one.
I am too. I know. I'm like, woo! Almost crying. It's like the whole point of the song is to inspire someone to go to war.
Yeah, because it reminds me of a
go to battle. Yeah.
It reminds me of a haka.
Yeah.
I think especially with the beat, with everything, and the cadence.
Yes, it's like boom, boom. Yeah.
And because another thing I noticed too is
thank you by the way, because I've only done that maybe publicly 3 or 4 times over 25 years.
No, I appreciate the willingness to do so. And we're also in reference to the interview right now, also coming off of a cosplay competition, and you happen to be a guest judge on it. And
I loved it.
I think one of the fun things about being a fan, and now of you and of cosplay itself is seeing you geek out the same way the rest of us do. How is it?
You agree?
how is it for judging for you?
Man, I loved it, bro. I loved it so much, and thank you for asking that. I have been going to Comic-Cons since 1976. I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And I was born in Detroit, Michigan. And my mom took me and my brother and some of the kids from the block to Motor City Comic Con. That's when I met Linda Carter, still my love to this day.
I think it's a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. I'm like, yes. Linda Carter, I met Adam West, I met Lou Ferrigno, I met Burt Ward, and I'll never forget it. And I think ever since that moment of meeting sort of my TV idols, I have always loved genre TV and sci-fi and fantasy, and that's kind of the world that I love to be in.
And now you're a part of it.
Now I'm part of it, and it's kind of surreal when to do a convention now, and I might see Lou Ferrigno, or and I've done a couple conventions actually with him.
I met him a couple years back at Denver Comic-Con. I don't know if it was end of day, but he did seem very tired. But he's still like, he still has a lot of energy from what I've gathered.
He still does, because it's funny because you think about it. Like I was 9, and Lou Ferrigno was what, 25 when he did it.
Right, and I'm in the same boat on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I think when Supernatural came out, I was close to that same age. And now you were, I don't even know off the top of my head. but it's just like, I'll be honest, in this conversation, it feels, rather than talking to a celebrity that I've looked up to, it feels like I'm talking with an old friend.
Oh man, dude, that's dude. I mean, to me, thank you, because I'm like this. It's about the work, man. People say, well, do you have the house in the Hollywood Hills? Do you have the Mercedes-Benz? I'm said, and my response to this is this, to anyone who asks that. I fell into some traps early on in my career, and I found my way out of it. It's so easy to sort of get lost, especially if you live in LA like I do. It's so easy to get lost in what your goals are, because you're in a constant. It's a sort of a kind of a very toxic place to live, because you're in a constant sort of state of mind where you're comparing yourself to the next person.
Yeah, it's like a state of flux, essentially.
Exactly. And it's like this. It's okay, man. So what? So and so just got a movie. It's all right. You'll get one next year. Or maybe 2 years from now. But it's all right. And you kind of put in this extremely competitive, kind of unhealthy, sort of ridiculously unhealthy state of mind. And one of the things that I had to realize was I need to set my own goals and pursue them, and be honest with myself, and some you win, some you lose.
Right, and I think that's the same for a lot of things, but acting especially, because I know there's a lot of burgeoning actors, there's a lot of different things that people look up to, especially in the social media system that we have now. It's because it's not just LA anymore.
You're absolutely right.
Do you have any good recommendations for people getting into it, or who have been in it for years, but are maybe facing some of the same struggles or similar enough struggles that you have had?
I would say, we're good?
Yep.
Yeah. I would say, so I have a friend who is a DOP in England, and
give me
director of photography.
Thank you. I was like, I should know what that term is. But
no, it's all good. Like, it's how I see you or Bella, like in 3 years from now. Like here's a movie, here's a TV show. I need you to film it. Enormous job, and you have to have the talented people who know how to light the scene and film the scene. And that's your DOP. And my friend Steven is a DOP in England. Brilliant. He did one of the James Bond movies. Like, he's so talented. But it's been really hard for him this last year. Our strikes for Writers Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild trickle down around the world.
Oh, for sure, because LA is so centric. Hollywood, especially, so centric. Because it's like, I know like there's a couple of productions that happen elsewhere, but it's just like, and as someone who's been through that
for sure,
multiple times now, because you had the 2008 strike.
That's right.
And then when
I remember it vividly.
It's like, I know that affects a lot of careers. That affects, and again, people starting out, people who have been in it for a long time. Right. It's like, how do you get through that without? Because like, especially as someone like maybe early on, you might have not had the same not have the same name recognition, or not have the same like portfolio of like back catalog to get benefits from.
That's right.
How do you last through that and not, fall through the cracks?
It will for sure, if it's a long period of time where you're not working on anything and not allowed to work on anything, it for sure will test you the hell out of you. And this year for me has been that test. I've been tested before though, and I said, you know what? I survived something even worse than this year, to be honest with you. And this year, what really sort of kept me sane really was my fellow Screen Actors Guild members and also members who are in IATSE, which would be your union, you know. Yeah.
Not unionized yet, but right.
Soon, you know.
That is the hope.
Yeah, for sure.
To
yeah.
go to the next level.
For sure. I was in New York striking. I was in Brazil in June. I was on vacation, just getting away from the world, and I came back when the strike started with Writers Guild of America and then Screen Actors Guild. I flew from Brazil to New York, and I got out there and started striking in the heat in New York City,
and I commend you for that.
Thank you,
in all honesty, too.
Yeah, but it was like it was all of us, and it was like what was so great was that it was actors, writers, cinematographers, screenwriters, makeup artists, teamsters. We were all out striking at the same time together, and I never seen so many unions standing together at one time ever in my life. And I come from a union family.
Right.
You know, like I'm from Detroit, so like we're automobile people.
Yeah, automobile union. You have the mechanics union. You have so many different things you're from.
Yeah.
But you know, coming as someone, and I come from an honestly very different background. I'm personally one of like the more artistic side of my family. I'm more on the open side of things and like a lot of different things. So it's like interesting seeing like all the different perspectives and opening my own mind over the last few years, especially with the strikes happening, with the change in everything and the changing climate. How do you, as an actor, as an actor,
right.
with the political climate, you don't have to go into politics itself. But like, how has it been for you trying to navigate, if that makes any sense?
It makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate the question because we're in such a sort of precarious time right now, and it's really, really, really super sensitive right now. It's like the whole world is one big walking nerve right now, and what I've tried to do, and I have to give myself credit because I've sort of stepped back and not used my one social media platform to be political and say something, because I think people think, well, you're an actor, you should get out and say something. Well, my job is, I'm not Barack Obama.
Right.
I'm Rick Worthy. I'm an actor. You know, my opinion doesn't matter any more than the next person. You know, I'm not a politician. I'm not an elected official, but I do have an opinion. But my thing is, well, what's your opinion? You know, as opposed to what's my opinion. I think everyone has a right to have an opinion. You know, we live in the United States where we have First Amendment rights, right of free speech. You know, and you know, we are the citadel of democracy around the world. We should be. You know, and I think I think we can still be that as long as we protect that right.
Right.
Yeah, and I know there are a lot of things happening right now in the world, both here and abroad. And believe me, I'm a news junkie. I can assure you, when we finish, I'll go up to my room and watch CNN probably for 2 hours, you know, because I want to see what's happening in the world, and I want to. At the end of the day, I really want peace, man, in the world, you know. And you know, sadly, you know, because of social media, people have been attacked and they've been ostracized. People have been fired from movies and TV shows because of a certain opinion they have about what's happening in Israel. You know,
there's. I do not want to make this a political talk,
sure,
but there's so much that could, you know, looking back, maybe a couple years from now, could be different, because I think one thing people forget is the nuance of different situations.
For sure.
But I do not want to end this on this note. Because I know we're running a little over the time we initially talked about, so I do apologize for that. Let's end this on a more positive note.
Yes, for sure. I think I just want to just quickly say, I don't think you can do an interview.
Nope, give me 1 second. It's just like going into your shirt more. There it goes.
I don't think you can do an interview without bringing out what's happening in the world. And I think people have a right to express themselves. And I think it's really crappy that people are being judged, ostracized, and affected by what they're saying. You know, I think you should have a right to express yourself without being penalized or condemned, if you will. And
no, I honestly agree.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
you know what I
matter. Doesn't matter right, left, or center.
Yeah.
If it, like your personal views, like as much as I disagree with some of the people who have spoken out in different
sure.
situations, I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna name
no,
politics.
I don't want to name names. I'm not going to.
But it's just like
sure.
let them do their job at the same time. Because
Right.
as long as you're not, in my personal opinion, as long as you're not calling for violence, you should not have to lose your job over
There it is. I totally 100% agree with you, and that's how I feel as well. As long as you're not inciting violence, you know, yelling fire in a movie theater.
Right.
As long as you're not doing that, and that's my metaphor, you know. As long as you're not doing that, you have the right to express yourself, you know, without being indicted, you know. And that's how I feel.
Right. And then, like I said, to end this on a more positive note, I do have maybe a couple more questions.
Is it about Supernatural?
I'll end it, I'm gonna honestly. I started with Supernatural. I will end on Supernatural. This one is actually about Stargate.
Oh,
because
shit.
There was one particular cosplayer that you, like, I honestly think like you had stars in your eyes as you were talking to them.
Yeah.
Because I saw you before we sat down for the interview.
Yeah.
That you were just like entirely geeking out over.
Yeah.
It just, I kind of want to see, like, have people see like that side of you at the same time. 'Cause, like, celebrities don't always get to show that side of themselves.
I'm a proud nerd. I'm a 56-year-old nerd. I love it.
But like, what are some of your favorite things about like fandom, like different fandoms, or like you know, like, or if you want to go into Stargate tangent, you can.
Well, dude, and our lovely assistant Bella can corroborate this. Rhode Island Comic Con, 2022. This young man walks up to me, dressed perfectly as Nick Fury, and I mean Nick Fury from the graphic novels, not the movies.
Oh, geez.
And he was probably 25, 22 years old. Sweetest young guy. Nick Fury, and I personally love Nick Fury. I love SHIELD, by the way. Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement Logistics Division, SHIELD. And he had the military haircut. He had his hair gray just on the sides, just like Nick Fury in the comic books. He had the Army military duster coat. He had the gun on the side. He had the Army pants, the boots, and the eye patch. And he came up to me and handed me a dossier. He just handed it to me like this, and it was like, it was fucking intel on Rick Worthy. Rick Worthy likes to eat cake. He likes to drink beer. He loves dogs. He's been known to maybe do a couple of magic tricks. Like, he had all my info on me, and it was like, whoa!
Is that okay? Is that creepy or insane or like?
No, it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, because it was like, because that's what Nick Fury would do. Like, he's a spy.
Right.
Nick Fury is like spy of all spies.
Right.
He's got intelligence on all the people around him. He's kind of like Batman, but minus all the cool $1 million gadgets. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then now to finish it off one more time with Supernatural. There's a lot of Supernatural conventions and different things of that nature. Some different things that you enjoy talking about at those. Because I've not been able to go to one yet.
You should definitely go to one if you can.
I want to. It's on my
list.
It is on my list.
Yeah.
But like, what you can talk about fan interactions, favorite movies, favorite scenes from the show, just like different things like that.
I think it's probably just really the fandom. I kind of have this, it's said with all humility. I cross about 6 fandoms or something like that. I got Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Supernatural, and Stargate, and a couple other ones. Magicians. Yeah. Thank you, Bella.
You were also also fanning over that one too during the cosplay competition.
Yeah. Dean Fogg. God damn it, yes. And so yeah. But when you do Supernatural, when you do a convention, you meet all these crazy ass people who are just like you.
I think that's any convention.
And it's okay. It's like, you know, we're all kind of broken in some kind of way, everyone, and it's all right. And it's like you're with your tribe of people, and you're gonna have the best time, and no one's gonna be judging you about who you are. And I've never really felt that with any other fandom except Supernatural.
Yeah, because I know that one of the things is it's the SPN family.
Yeah.
And I see that on the social media posts I see on everything. Anything you can talk about.
Yeah.
But anything behind the scenes that they have done that is hilarious.
Well, when I did the episode where the Alpha Vamp throws Dean across his dining room table. I think the episode is called "There Will Be Blood."
If I remember right.
Yeah, with like
around there.
Yeah, with Dick Roman.
Jensen Ackles?
Yeah. So they brought in Jensen's stunt double, who physically is just the same size and everything. And then, but it was hilarious because I had just bought a new iPhone, and then Jared said, "Dude, give me your iPhone. Like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. I'm gonna film it." And I said, "Okay." So he got so excited about the whole stunt.
Forgot to press it.
No. He wanted me to have a copy of it on video, you know. And I was like, I love this show because like I just don't meet actors who, you know, 7 years in, like they're so excited about.
Who are still giant 5-year-olds?
Huh?
Who are still giant 5-year-olds?
Yeah.
I've noticed that on all the bloopers and everything.
Dude, like they are, it's all real. Like seriously, you know, like they totally are clowns and they love their jobs. And you know what's a good sign of a great TV show is if the crew comes back every year. Their crew comes back 99% of the time.
That's insane.
Nobody can say that, bro. Like a couple of people can maybe say that, but like
they're all on Supernatural.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we love this show.
Just for Jared and Jensen.
Yeah, like we love this show, and we have it figured out, and everyone gets a chance to get home early and go play with their dogs and take their kids out for dinner. Like they have it all. You know, people, they're the sort of the model for how to do a TV show.
No, it's one of those things I grew up on. I've loved for years.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was rewatching it for the umpteenth time.
The umpteenth
probably.
time,
Wait, you got to grow up on that? My parents tried to ban me from it. My mom walked in on Sam and Dean exercising a demon and said, "Get that out of my house."
Sam and Dean exercising a demon is a good thing.
Yeah.
Demons. My mom said
Yeah.
no.
All right, I do again. I apologize for going way over the time.
No,
I'm
it's
like,
all right. It's all right.
We're talking.
It's
I'm
only
like,
9:30. It's all right.
No, I just didn't realize the time was passing. I'm like, wait a second.
But you know, it's wait. Are we on Mountain or Pacific time?
Mountain.
So it's only
9:30.
It's only 8:30 for me.
Okay.
But it feels later. I don't know why it feels later. I don't know.
It's been a busy day.
Yeah, it's the altitude. I had this crazy headache yesterday, and everyone said it's because of the altitude.
No, altitude sickness is a real thing if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, but
especially if you come from sea level.
Yeah. I drank a lot of water yesterday, and just basically went to bed. So, but I feel good now. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It has water in it,
I
right?
had to earn that. It has water in it.
I don't know. Last time you were up this late, I met RuPaul version of you.
You met what version?
Oh yeah. When I met Rick Worthy, I had to walk his ass back to his hotel because he comes walking down the street like, Bella, you're my best friend. He from karaoke like this too.
Oh, I want to see. I want to see you at karaoke.
I was
so
pretty.
bad now.
I was a different person.
You're an actor. That's
Yeah. I was just like. bum, 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 bum. Yeah. I was like, bring it, work it, girl, work it.
I just know that's Rick Worthy and he's staying at the Omni. I'll be back.
I'm getting some inside tea here.
Yeah, this is
never heard before.
This is like where the real interview starts now.
Wait, go order us another drink and then we'll get deeper into the interview.
Get deeper.
Oh, that has a whole different context.
That'll be part two.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one funny little tidbit. Is I realized the other day, on Friday, when I was getting ready for the convention, I'm like, wait a second, I dress like a hunter on a day-to-day.
You totally do.
And
about Supernatural. I was like, what do you mean? Winchester.
Dude, you do.
And I was just sitting here like I had a Nerf gun with me yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't want to carry it around today because I already have all the other equipment I have.
Yeah.
that I was sitting here like, should I do? And that's why I'm like, Rick Worthy's here. I have got to find my way, weasel my way into talking to you. All it took was you offering me a drink, which I appreciate so much.
Of course.
And I would never anticipate that in a million years, to be honest with you.
Oh man, of course. I'm like this. If you're with me, I'm probably gonna buy you a drink or something, coffee, whatever.
Keep that on the down low.
Yeah, down low.
But like you were just such a down-to-earth human being. Like it seems like
thank you.
Through everything you've been thick and thin, you're still this humble human being who is just like, you're a fan of what you do. You're a fan of people you work around.
Yeah.
Because you brush shoulders with probably goals, yes. But you brush shoulders with so many different people that it just like, I mean we do too to a different extent.
Yeah.
But just being able to like, you know, it for lack of a better term, it is a different level of. It is dying? Okay, so we will have to finish this up.
Yeah.
Is there any last final words of the interview you'd like to say?
I appreciate the interview so much. I've been dying to. It's funny because all day long I've been thinking in my mind. I'm like, man, I would love to talk to somebody about anything, you know. And in this business, you have some really wonderful experiences and wonderful people, and then also not so wonderful, you know. And I don't want to do a tell-all and out people and, you know,
right.
like
and that's
destroy people's careers.
That's not what this is for.
No, absolutely not. But I do believe that there should be a certain amount, maybe a truth told, and I so appreciate you giving me the chance to talk.
No, for sure.
Honestly.
Thank you for giving me the chance to talk to you.
Well, most people say, well, you know, how did you get started as an actor? I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to go, and it's cool. But to go where we went today and just talk, or tonight, to talk about things, you know, that are really sort of heartfelt, it means a lot to me. And I'm a fan. I love Comic Cons. I love what I do. We did a panel today with all the Star Trek people, me and Denise and JG, and I forget their names. Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, I love all these people up here on the stage. You know, we're all from the same tribe, and we all have gone through the fires of Star Trek. You know, and so it meant a lot to me, man. And you know, believe me, I'm so happy that I got a chance to come here. So hope I come back.
Oh, I hope I get a chance to re-meet you again.
Yeah, of course.
And then I think for the final send-off,
Yeah.
because I'm such a big Supernatural fanboy.
Yes.
If you don't mind, as the alpha vampire, do a send-off for the audience.
You ready?
Yes.
Is this on video as well?
It'll be on video.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oops. Sound.
Oh.
Sound.
We need that. We need that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to button up a little bit.
I also love the Sharpie marks.
Yeah, I know, right? It's whenever I go through an airport, they're like, "What is that on your hand?" I'm like, it's Sharpie marks." Okay, great. Okay. Yeah. Huh?
I was looking at them. I'm like, I was about to start counting all the dots, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm gonna get distracted.
Sign of a good convention. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Oh, got it.
Oh, you're gonna point it at me? Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point it at you.
Okay, good, cool.
So that way,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so that way you don't have to worry about it, because it was kind of like, I'm laying down, I'm gonna scratch your throat.
Yeah. Ready?
Oh yeah.
What's your frame? Are you here? You here?
Yeah, we're actually getting the table,
So
and
you're a bit deeper. You're about here.
I can zoom it in.
Can you get here?
do you need help on that end, or you got it?
I do my best work, like right here.
Bring back the drag.
Yeah, exactly. The good, the bad, the ugly. You know, like Sergio Leone. Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's okay. What are
Here,
you?
hold
Are
on.
you here?
If you don't, let me just do a quick check. Let me see.
It's crooked, but
Oh.
Good.
All right.
Over there. Yeah, good. Right there.
a little bit down.
Nice. It's good. It's a good medium close. It's good. Yeah. Okay. Ready? out, boys. When your kind first huddled around the fire, I was the thing in the dark.
Bye, Mom.